Hello everyone and welcome back to JB Soul Gaming, where today we're taking a look at Tales from Candlekeep, Tomb of Annihilation. So this is a video game that's based on the board game Tomb of Annihilation. It is a cooperative dungeon crawling game. I thought I'd do a review of it first of all so that people on Board Game Geek who know about the game now know that there's a video game adaptation and see if maybe it's worth their while to check out. And for those of you who aren't into board gaming, maybe you're still interested in this idea. So it is based in the Dungeons & Dragons universe. There have been several of these games based on famous D&D modules. I still call them modules because I'm old, but let's take a look at some things. First of all, this is going to be a super quick review. We're going to go slightly into how the game works for those of you that aren't familiar with it, and I'll give my thoughts on it. Now, one thing I do want to talk about right off the bat is in the options menu. You can see here all these DLC bonuses. Now, I'm actually reviewing this game because I got it for free. Because if you're a member of Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. If you're not familiar with what Twitch is, it's a video game streaming service. You can go to twitch.tv and check it out. So basically, Twitch is owned by Amazon now, so if you link your accounts, they've been giving away some in-game video game content and some free games now and again. And this month they're giving away 5 free games, including some really, really good ones like Oxenfree. But basically, you can link your account. You do have to download the Twitch app, which is basically like something that runs the games, just like Steam is or something like that, if you're familiar with that. And you do have to be running the app in order to run these games. But overall, it's free, and, you know, free games is pretty cool. So what's one more app on your computer in order to run some games? Now, the DLC I do not like. Again, I believe you get the complete edition for free with Twitch Prime. And basically, the DLCs are a bunch of things that cost $2.99 that give you, like, a legendary weapon, in-game items, and these bonuses and things like that. It's a little bit odd. I don't mind content that gives you a bunch of content and then the option of making the game easier, but it seems like the DLCs are around making the game easier. You can buy the complete edition for a lot more. I believe the base game is $15, and the complete edition is quite a bit more, and it has those DLCs in it. So let's go ahead and resume here. And again, you get, and I'm not sure how much of this, I am familiar with the board game and the basics of how it works, but I have not played it, so I'm not sure how much of this, like, gathering resources to craft weapons and things like that is a part of it, or if it is at all. So we could craft this legendary weapon with the stuff we got with the complete edition if we wanted to. Now, you don't really level up your character in this game at all, from what I understand. You only level up their weapons. So again, a little bit different, especially for it being from D&D. But let's go ahead and jump into a mission to give you an idea of how it works. You get different rewards for different missions, and again, it seems, I'm not sure if it really does much else other than upgrade your weapons. And here's the part you have right here. There's a lot of information on all these characters, and basically how this game works. It's turn-based. You have a movement and an action. Each character has 2 different kind of base attacks, and then utility things that they can do once, and then there are certain things, I believe, that can reset them on a mission, and daily power you can only use once per mission, I believe is how it works. You also have a choice between powers, which is, you know, a nice little thing. So there's basically, you know, all these different characters and what they do, and you have an option of 5 different ones. So let's go ahead and use these 3. I don't know. I'm not really super familiar with the game. I do remember that. I believe that was a big part of the Tomb of Horrors, right? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't played Tomb of Annihilation, the modern remake of it, in 5th Ed Dungeons & Dragons, but I did play Tomb of Horrors back in the day when I was like 10 or 12, and it was awful, and it really shouldn't be remade other than for laughs. But anyways, that's my personal opinion. So when you start each mission, you're going to get told what basically you're expected to do on the mission. So here we got to find the fallen tree. On your turn, each character has a movement and an action. It's a good idea to move to the edge of a board if you can, or edge of these tiles. So, again, this is based on a board game, and the tiles come out semi-randomly depending on the mission. You know, maybe there's like an end tile that's shuffled into a certain percentage of the end of the deck, is how it works. And we want to move to the edge of a tile because when we end our turn, if we're not on the edge of a tile, exploring a tile, we'll draw from an encounter deck of almost all bad things. So it's a good idea to do that. Well then, because we're at the edge of a tile, we'll explore a tile. This tile happens to have a monster on it. That's a bummer. The monster activates and does damage to our character that is very weak and can't take a bunch of damage, which is a bummer. So what do we want to do now? So we've got this guy activated, and I don't believe... yeah, he's tanky, but he's pretty much only good in close. So do we want to leave this character on their own, or do we want to go take out this character? Well... neither one of our attacks will do 2 damage, So maybe we just want to explore. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and explore right now and maybe deal with that monster in a little bit, especially because this character, the one that doesn't have a lot of health, does a lot of damage. So I don't think we're going to do any actions on our turn. We're just going to go to the next phase. So the basics of the game are going to work like this a lot of the time. Now this is an encounter tile. So much like if you don't explore a tile, you'll draw something off the encounter deck. Certain more difficult tiles randomly come up. So let's see here. So basically this is a negative effect. They take damage, and we can choose to block it if we have a full thing of adrenaline. So this is one full thing, and then there's 2, and then 3. Adrenaline we can use to give a bonus, which is kind of nice, or we can use it to kind of block these negative effects. So just so you guys can kind of see how this works. Oh, okay, never mind. We, because I'm a dum-dum and I was supposed to click on this to interrupt it, now we, yeah. So basically we used the adrenaline when we didn't mean to, when I should have clicked on a different thing. So overall, I don't think the UI is that bad in the game. I just made a mistake by clicking on the wrong thing. Alright, so now that monster activated, now it's this character's turn. Now with this character, maybe we're a little bit better off if we want to use... So again, this is adjacent. I don't know if there's a place we can get adjacent to. And both of their stuff, again, does 1 damage. So... let's see here. We could just move to here and explore. And I don't think we would be able to... Can we shoot this guy right now? No, we can't. Because there is line of sight in the game. So because these rocks are blocking their line of sight, we wouldn't be able to shoot this character. And if we move over here, we again wouldn't. But maybe we can move like all the way to here. But this, again, monster within 2 tiles, monsters on the same tile cannot be targeted. So I don't know if there's a good way... and I don't think we can actually see through this tree even. But since we can move to here, why don't we go ahead and try it and see if we can shoot this. So again, no, we don't have line of sight over here. Now we could, but again, on the same tile, so we can't shoot this character. So there is some strategy to this game. Now let's talk about what I actually think about the game. So this game, it could be advertised, and I've seen people talk about like, oh, it's a bit like XCOM for those of you who play video games and enjoy that kind of thing. There's movements and actions and things like that in turn-based tactical combat. Not so much. This game definitely, I think, can be enjoyable, particularly for those of you who enjoy the board game and want a video game adaptation of that. And if that sounds cool, then this may be worth checking out. And if you're already, oh, Nat 1, oh, we missed on our guiding bolt. That's a bummer. So for those of you who are familiar with the board game and looking for a video game adaptation, I think this is something you could enjoy. And I think it's relatively faithful to the game. Again, I'm not sure about all the, like, because we'll come across like traps and treasure chests and all that you can get items in order to upgrade your items and things like that. I'm not sure how much of that is in the game, but I know that this mechanism of revealing tiles and all that, like there's a treasure chest there that we'd have to get through the traps in order to get to and take an action. And then we take a negative effect because we didn't explore a tile and things like that. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and we want to keep exploring. So I think we're just going to go ahead and attack and try to finish you off first and then explore. That seems like a good idea. And we probably don't want to split the party too much, but it looks like we can't quite get to the edge of a tile this way. So I don't know. Let's just go ahead and explore it this way. You're tanky enough. You can take it. So basically, here's the thing. If you like the board game, I think there's some cool stuff to offer here. I think the game looks pretty nice. It's a pretty decent board game adaptation as far as that goes. We can zoom in and we can see up close. I think the looks of it are okay. However, there are certainly some budgeted aspects to this game. So what do I mean by that? Alright, so not an attempt to play all that tactically well. We're just going to move and then shoot this guy. And again, even if we hit, oh, a 20. So does that do double damage, actually? Yes, it does. So that's nice. We actually were able to do 2 damage with that and kill that enemy. So we're not really going to go on and play too much here. This is pretty much what every mission is going to involve, is revealing tiles. There are different things that you want to eventually do on this mission. But while I think this game looks pretty great, I feel like there's definitely some also lower budget things going on. The monsters don't really have their own noises. The game kind of has pretty simple music that can get old pretty quickly, in my opinion. So overall, I feel like if you're super into the board game, then maybe this is worth checking out. I don't really... for me personally, this style of game is something that I enjoy, particularly playing with other players and moving the pieces around and doing all that. And as someone who enjoys tactical combat video games like XCOM, or even indie titles that are smaller budget like Into the Breach, which I did a video on recently, you can go check out if you want to. I don't feel like this game has a lot to offer if you're just interested in PC D&D tactics. I think there are better games out there of this style, and this game works well as a board game. It's nice. It's a dungeon crawl that you don't need to have a dungeon master for, which there weren't somebody to play the bad guys, basically. So there we revealed the great ape. Not the grape ape, also something from my childhood. But basically, so now we have a boss fight here and some other stuff going on. I'm assuming the ads will go away. Oh boy. Oh, good thing he missed there, because this guy is not exactly tanky. And that one hit, and this one, oh my gosh. Why did you have to discover the tile? Alright, at least people are missing. So overall, I actually I can't highly recommend this game. So the music's gotten a little bit better. But I don't think if you're just into PC strategy or turn-based tactics in role-playing games, hey, go play Divinity Original Sin 2. That was my game of the year last year if you're into cool turn-based tactics in an RPG. I don't think this game is exceptionally deep as far as if you're into, and we're going to go ahead and make a double move here to get in position with this guy so that we can hopefully do some things next turn. So not huge on that. And if you're a fan of the board game, yeah, I think you could have fun with this. So let's see, can we interrupt this one? I thought we had to have a whole thing. Equal number of monsters he or she controls. Can we block it? Oh, okay, no, it only takes away one of those notches, so that's good to know. Doesn't take away the full thing. I thought it took away a full, like, 2 sections on that first bar, so that's alright. Yeah, I think this game has a decent amount to offer. So we can hit, what if we do this? We'll hit those two guys. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll hit these two guys with this attack. So we'll hit here and do some cool stuff, hopefully. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. Okay, and freezing. Not really sure what that does. So, again, I feel like this game might have some interest to people who really love this game, want the ability, and yeah, we're just going to go ahead and try to block any negative things and try to finish off this guy as quickly as you can. And we got to get him out of there so he doesn't die. Hopefully he'll be able to, just witch bolt this dude and finish him. Let's see here, roll decently. I think that'll hit. Yeah, that'll hit. Okay, there we go. So he leveled up, and we get some rewards for it. And do we win the mission automatically at that point once we kill the boss? Yes, we do. Okay, completed. So I think there's some value if you really like the board game. I think there's a lot of good things about this game as far as the visuals and the things like that. It's pretty decent for this price of a kind of independent PC title. However, if you're just interested in PC tactics, like I said, there are some games out there that I feel like are going to give you more bang for your buck. So, a pretty decent overall, somewhat faithful adaptation of the game. I don't like the DLC practices, and I feel like there could have been a little higher production values, but if you're looking for something that's pretty simple tactics, you may enjoy this one, or if you're looking for an adaptation of the board game, you may enjoy this one. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Like I said, I do video game and board game stuff on my channel. Please like, share, subscribe if you want to see more stuff out there, and I do try to talk about indie games, and although those get almost no views, I do try to talk about only things that are interesting, and hopefully more people will go out and check out some of the indie PC game stuff I do. But thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and we will talk to you again soon.